Welcome to the Riot Podcast.
Podcast. The last one for the week.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to know the truth, it's a toilet-heavy podcast.
It really is.
But it's not as much about toilets as it is about toilet culture.
It is. Yeah, we talk a lot about our thoughts and feelings concerning things.
Mostly Nikki's thoughts and feelings.
Mostly my thoughts and feelings
regarding
concerning
toilets.
it. So buckle up, get ready to learn.
Boy, that's a heck of a piece of advice for a toilet.
Buckle up and get ready.
What's going on if you need to buckle up in there?
I have no idea. And if you find a toilet that has a seatbelt, well, then that's something.
The other thing we hear a lot about is zombie Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Nikki, as I look at this, like, you have a lot of strong feelings about a lot of things in this podcast.
This is two things. That's all that I have strong feelings about.
Rambo?
Oh, well, I mean, that's my no feeling. And you can't count them as separate things. Toys R Us and Rambo are still my feelings about we as a society cannot understand the word no.
Okay.
It's gone or it should be gone. So it's the same thing. It's just different topics.
The other thing we get into today that I think actually, the toilet thing's my favorite, but as far as society at large is concerned, the discussion around Lady Gaga and Venom is probably one of the weirder things that you'll hear today.
It is really interesting.
It is really something. So you guys enjoy the podcast. We'll be doing Worst of Riot live the next couple days. Nikki will be back on Tuesday, but the podcast will return on Monday when our very own Nick the News Guy
is joining Obadiah.
Yes, indeed.
You guys have lots of fun.
Sure we will. Let's see how it goes.
We'll miss you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
The Worst of the Riot box set is now available nowhere because we know you wouldn't want it anyway. It's the Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
We did it!
It is the Riot. Boy, that took forever yesterday.
We did it!
It did.
After 1,400 days of trying, we got the new Obadiah Plays Forza Horizon 4 uploaded to YouTube.
I think just because it was such a large file.
Yes.
But on Sunday, Obi hosted an Obadiah Plays with Forza, which you can see on our RadioU Riot Facebook page. That was all fine and dandy. But to be able to get it on our RadioU Riot YouTube channel, I literally watched it yesterday, take hours and hours and hours. And, you come back from lunch, you're like, surely it's done. And it's like, nope, still not there yet. And then at the end, it hit this thing where it looked like it was going to fail, but it didn't. And it made it. And so it's there. Yay!
Whee!
So don't forget, Obadiah Plays are up at RadioU Riot on our YouTube channel.
And I'll also tell you that when I saw that it finished yesterday, I took the time to post it at riot.radiou.com. So you can see it there, or you can see it on our Facebook page. The only problem is every time I load this thing up to take a look to make sure it's there, I'm like, man, I should play some Forza.
You really should.
Guys, real talk, I love that game.
The new
so
one?
Much. Yeah. Well,
because I know you like the one.
I loved 3 and I love 4. Okay. I will say, just for the matter of saving money, if you haven't played 3, I think you could buy 3 and have just as much fun as I'm having with 4 right now.
It's not so bad to be behind a game?
No, I don't think so, because a lot of the core kind of elements are the same. This is it's kind of one of those things where it's just almost like Madden, where it's like, this year it's got blank, blank, and blank in it, and it didn't have that last year.
New tracks and cars.
Yeah, so I mean, it is a different experience, and for someone that's played a ton of 3, I'm ready for 4, but if you've never played any of them, you could pick up 2 or 3, and I think still have a fantastic time.
Well, that's nice, because everybody who wanted Forza 4 sold 2 or 3.
No, 3 I bought the digital copy with all the whatevers.
Oh, you might be able to find a used copy cheaper.
Oh, no, you totally could, dude. Like, you could go out and pick it up. And I don't think the DLC is necessarily worth it, but the core game is good. And I'm sure you could probably pick that up used on the cheap. But I've been playing 4, and even last night, I had a bunch going on. And when I got all done, I was like, man, I'm tired. But, for 20 minutes.
Just one track.
That'd be enough for just a couple of races.
Aww.
And so I did. I jumped on, raced a couple times, had a blast with it, and then was like, I could stay up later. No, gotta go to bed.
Oh, well, and that's the mature side right there.
Gotta go. But see, Nikki's off Thursday and Friday, but I'm off Friday. So you know what I'm doing?
more Forza?
Oh, dude, I'm going to be racing like pretty much all day.
Good.
I cannot wait. I'm just get up, make some coffee, just like I would any other day, except instead of sitting here.
Put in the work to play the game.
That's right. And then I'm just going to put my feet up.
How awesome would it be if you put in more effort to like getting dressed and your coffee and your breakfast? You're like, oh, are you going to work? You're like, no, I'm going to play.
Well, yeah, I mean, like it's, I can call it work. Some people call it work. But yeah, oh dude, I'm in for that. So that's my game plan. It's a ton of fun. So you can see me play, and I'll stop gushing about it now.
You can watch again at RadioU Riot on Facebook or our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and then sign up to get notified so you get the postings when they happen.
Yeah, and our next Obadiah Plays is going to be Mega Man 11. That's happening sometime in the next few days.
The Riot.
Apparently, some of the less athletic types go nuts for this stuff.
Radio U.
Okay. The internet gets weirder and weirder. And by the way, it gets harder and harder to trust anything that you find online.
That is true.
I mean, just harder and harder. So get a load of this. Until we had lunch yesterday, I completely forgot this was a thing. And I don't mean silverware or manners. We went yesterday, and over lunch, we were talking about things that are happening on Friday. You know, you've got the new 21 Pilots album, and you've got Venom, the movie.
Yeah.
Totally forgot that was coming out.
And that's Tom Hardy as Venom?
It's Tom Hardy.
I saw the embargo lifted on the reviews for the movie yesterday, and
reviews are not good.
It's not
They're
the
not
worst.
bad.
It's not the best.
Right.
It just a lot of in between.
Yes. That's exactly what Nikki's saying right there. A lot of in between on old Tom Hardy and the Venom reviews. Including
one that was like, why don't they just stop it? And because it seemed like they called it like a superhero movie that seemed about 10 to 15 years old for the stylized of it.
Even the trailer feels that way.
Yeah, lower budget and old.
I'll tell you what the trailer makes me think of. I've only seen it one time, but I don't know when they did it, but they made a Spawn movie. That's an old Todd McFarlane character, blah, 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 whatever. I feel like the Venom trailer looks like the Spawn movie.
Sure.
And we can get into why Spawn and Venom are a lot alike, but if they had come out at the same time, I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you filmed them at the same time.
Yeah, it looks the same. Now, that being said, there is a lot of negative social media buzz about Venom, but have you seen the theory that is running around that's happening with that?
Russia?
No, it's not.
That was something we talked about yesterday.
That was Star Wars. This is something else. What's more nefarious than Russian hackers?
Our own hackers?
Lady Gaga fans.
Why? Oh, because of the... really? Because of that movie?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so Variety is reporting that there is a...
It's like you can't win.
There is a concerted effort by Lady Gaga fans on Twitter and other social media platforms where they are literally working together to spread negative buzz about Venom because they want people instead to go see A Star Is Born, which is the Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper movie that is coming out on Friday.
Don't they realize I don't feel like the audience is the same for those movies?
I don't think so.
I don't see a lot of crossover of like, what do you want to see this weekend? Well, it's one or the other.
It's going to be Venom or A Star Is Born, and I just can't decide.
I don't know what to do. Let me hop on Twitter and see what I should, decide.
Let me see what all my tweeps are saying.
I don't think the audience is close to that.
Well, all my girlfriends are saying that Venom is no good.
So
which is
we're not going to go see that.
That's kind of what I would have expected them to say anyway.
True.
I mean,
that's interesting. You could totally see that as being an effort that they came up with.
It's so weird because now, there was a time when you could go to Rotten Tomatoes and get an idea like, all right, this is kind of where people are. Now it's review bombs and we're lying about stuff on Twitter no matter what. It is no longer about even freedom of expression. It's about how can we weaponize social media. Man, what a bummer, right?
Can't have anything nice, can we?
I mean, I knew we couldn't. I knew I couldn't trust social media. But at least back in the day when you were a jerk on social media, I could just get mad at you. Now, when I go on social media, I have to wonder how either A, you're being manipulated, B, you're trying to manipulate me, or C, I can't even remember what the first two were.
So let's just have freedom then and realize if a movie comes out, don't bother with reviews. If you're going to go, just go. If you want to see it, it's probably going to be not as good as you wanted it to be, but not
nothing
terrible.
ever is.
Yeah, but not terrible, so it's fine.
You know what, guys? There we go.
So don't bother looking.
Nikki's School of Movie Reviews. It's fine.
It's fine. If you have the money to spend and the time to spend.
It's fine.
And you wanted to see it, don't let a review change your mind.
Lower your expectations, but it's fine.
And you're there for the popcorn anyways.
And the theater owners are glad to hear you say that.
Yes, you're welcome, guys. We love the movie theater popcorn. We just can't make it the same. I think it's because we don't make it in a trash bag and leave it out for a few days.
It's the oil, Nikki.
It's the butter. It's not even butter. It's the oil.
It's the oil-flavored butter.
Just something special.
Ever grab milk right out of the fridge to pour in your cereal, only to realize that your stupid roommate left an empty carton in the fridge? That emptiness is nothing compared to how you're about to feel. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
How many people are excited about the prospect of a zombie, wait for it, giraffe named Jeffrey coming back from the grave and haunting you with the toys of Christmas past?
I saw some tweets about this yesterday, but I didn't actually find the article. It was just speculation.
Well, here's the thing is Toys R Us is dead, but they forgot to sever the head.
Is it still rolling around?
Well, the thing is that if you don't cut off their head at the right time, they can be brought back from the dead. So that may be happening.
They're not bringing Toys R Us back. You can't go like practically a year like they went with their bankruptcy clearance closure thing. Do you remember how long that lasted?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They can't just be like, oh, takesy backsies. We're coming back.
I'll tell you who's not a Toys R Us kid in this room.
Well, I don't like what I feel like we've been had.
Well, you got to understand that, Nikki, if zombie Toys R Us happens, it won't be the same.
Well, of course, it never can.
Because, Nikki, once they bury it in the pet cemetery and it comes back, that ground is turned.
You think
it's gone bad.
You're just so glad something's back that you're willing to overlook that it's not the same, but something's different.
So here's the deal. Apparently, the creditors, the people that basically in the Chapter 11 settlement acquired the naming rights and all that sort of things, apparently they are in talks to bring the Toys R Us brand back in a
different capacity,
in a something else,
online only, or
could be an online thing, could be something else, could be some pop-up stores. They did that. They had pop-up stores. You remember those?
Toys R Us ones?
Yeah.
No,
you go to the mall and there'd be like a Toys R Us pop-up store in the mall?
I don't remember this at all.
You never got to be a part of that? Well,
now I know, though, that all the Toys R Us stores have been taken over by, like, the Halloween places.
Yeah.
So.
Well, have you seen... I love that. They're like, it's Halloween City, but it will be Toy City after that.
It's like, all right.
Okay, so Toy City living in a Toys R Us grave.
This goes back to my school of thought, and I don't want to really get into it, where in our society nowadays, a no is not a no. Okay? And I can't stand it anymore because our shows can't go away.
Nikki.
They bring the movies back. They're like, oh, it's bankrupt. It's gone. Toys R Us is gone. Nope, just kidding. Just kidding.
Nothing lasts forever.
The word means nothing to anybody nowadays.
For someone that has a hard time saying no to themselves, you seem awfully key on making sure that everybody else knows what the word no means.
I do. I need us to be, stronger with that. And they're like, oh, well, we saw that you guys were kind of sad. Maybe we can get some more money out of it.
Well, that's at the heart of it right there. Like, remember how sad you were when Toys R Us went away? It's back. That's what they did with Twinkies.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Everything.
Hostess went out of business. They were gone. And then they were like, man, we're on to something now. Bring the Twinkies back. And they did. And they're not the same. Just like Toys R Us won't be the same.
I just think it's a shame.
Stephanie texted and said, I've already had my Toys R Us grieving period.
Yes!
Nikki is right.
Thank you, Stephanie. We're already over it. We've gone on to the fact that we never shopped there in the first place. So we're fine.
I did too shop there.
You did not. You would go there and look around.
That's shopping.
That's not shopping. That's browsing.
All right. Well,
you never bought anything, which is why they couldn't stay as a company.
That's not entirely true either. For Christmas 2 years ago, I bought somebody a gift at Toys R Us.
That was the last time. All right.
And just to be clear, I love their clearance racks.
But you never bought anything.
Oh, I bought clearance sometimes. Same thing I do at Target. I don't buy anything in Target until I go check their clearance racks. Their clearance racks can be legendary.
Much better.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll keep you updated on if there's any other news.
You're listening to The Riot. Voted #1 morning show. Among toddlers aged 2 to 5, among people with hearing problems, among dogs who bark at loud noises, among relatives of Obadiah, among people who lie in surveys. The Riot, Radio U.
You know, of all the texts that have been coming in about this Toys R Us thing, my favorite probably came from the newsroom. And Nick said that he's looking forward to an epic feud between Nikki and Jeffrey.
I'm not mad.
Yes, you are.
I just
Yeah, you
don't
are.
understand why a no.
That's too much.
Christmas music. That's actually quite nice.
Too much.
I don't know why a no can't be a no. And I feel like everything's a big game with all these companies, and they're coming back, and they shouldn't come back. They already went bankrupt. They already closed down the stores.
Nikki, if I went to this company that is trying to resurrect Toys R Us from the dead.
After it just closed.
Okay, all right. Well, you don't want it laying in there too long, it'll stink. So if I went to them and I said, listen, I've got somebody that has a lot of unfinished business with Jeffrey, and she's been in counseling, she's been grieving, it's been a lot. Would you be willing, if I set up a celebrity boxing match, would you bring Jeffrey out and would you let Nikki fight with Jeffrey?
Just wail on you?
Because what I imagine is, here's what I see. I see you guys in the ring together, you and Jeffrey, and you're fighting. And Jeffrey, who loves children everywhere, even after they've grown up, he still sees the child within us all. He actually sees all your rage and anger, and he finally, here's the scene. You're up there, and he finally just lays down, and you're punching him, and you're just like, you left me! You left me! You left me! How could you do that? And then, you know what? Eventually, your rage is spent, and you just cry, and there is Jeffrey, broken and beaten. And then he gives you a hug, and it just says,
you got it wrong.
He says, I never leave my Toys R Us kids.
No, you got it wrong. What happens is you enter the ring, and then all of a sudden from behind his back, he pulls out the toy that you always wanted when you were a kid, but you never got from your parents, because he knows what you wanted deep down, and he brings it to you. So, no, it's just closed down. It's not my fault. It closed down. I never went there anyways.
Oh, you did?
No.
Sure you did.
No. In fact, the last time I went to Toys R Us, it was a very bad experience because I ordered it online to save time, and it worked in reverse.
It
was terrible. So, no way.
Okay, Aaron says, you see the new show Manifest? Nothing good comes from something coming back from the dead. People only get hurt.
Which one's Manifest?
That's a brand new show. Someone else messaged us on Facebook about that. Let's see. Stephanie says, Obi, boyfriend and I stopped in and sometimes purchase more than 2 adults without kids should have purchased. Okay, I appreciate that. Let's see. And Randall, Nikki pulls out her flamethrower.
Yes.
I like that. Nikki pulls out her flamethrower, and she's like, all right, who's hungry for giraffe?
Oh, gosh, don't make it weird.
Giraffe's on the menu, boys.
Let's get going. No, again, it's not my fault, but they closed down. So if it's closed down, it can't come back.
It can.
Nope.
And it will.
Nope.
Tim is rooting for Jeffrey. I like that. And then someone who did not leave their name just randomly texted us a picture of the monster cereals back at Walmart.
Oh, great. All right. Well, moving on.
I don't know. It feels like something Jeffrey would like.
The worst of the riot. It's like Lucky Charms, but no marshmallows. Radio U.
You know what Nikki did?
What?
She was like, speaking of things that should have stayed dead.
I couldn't have not made the joke. I mean, come on. It's walking right into it.
And then she passed me details on Sylvester Stallone's new Rambo movie. They're making another Rambo movie.
Oh, it's fine, though.
What's that? The 6th Rambo movie?
I thought they'd say 5, or maybe I just...
Oh, yeah, no, it's 5. You're right. It says here, the 5th and final film of the violent franchise, blasting into theaters fall of 2019. Stallone is out there still making bank on old stuff, man. Because look at that. He's in Creed 2, which is...
That trailer came out not too long ago.
What'd you think of that trailer? You didn't watch it, did you?
Came out. I mean, I just saw that it was
it's been
there.
out for a week. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
It's in my playlist to watch later.
That 2 minutes was just too long.
Much. I never saw the first one.
I still haven't seen it yet either, which is ridiculous.
Hey, you're off on Friday.
I am.
Maybe in between all your Forza?
I have another movie planned for Friday, so I don't know. We'll see.
That's a no. We'll watch it another time.
Probably.
That's fine.
All right. But yeah, here's a picture. Apparently, Rambo's a cowboy now.
Yeah, they're talking how it has a much more Western feel for the look of it, but at least just based off the pictures. There's no trailer or anything yet.
Yeah, no, they started filming it yesterday. So Rambo's coming back, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just vaguely remember from when I was way too young, I think someone played part of Rambo, but
sure.
I just remember him being in the woods with a gun, and was that Rambo?
Could have been.
Like on a cliff or something?
Sure. If you go back and watch, okay. Now, keeping in mind that Rambo 2, 3, and 4 are crazy, but if you go back and watch First Blood, which is
that the first one?
That's the name of the first Rambo movie. It's so different than what you'll think it is because it's about a Vietnam veteran who comes back from the war. His friends are dying of cancer, which pretty much have I don't know if they name drop it, but it's basically like, hey, Agent Orange and these chemicals that were used during the war, all of his friends are dying off and he can't find a job. And so what ends up happening is he is walking through a town. There's a sheriff there that hated the Vietnam War. And so he hates all the vets that are tied in. And so as he's trying to walk through this town, the sheriff harasses him and then he ends up arresting him. And they basically take him in and torture him, which causes him to have like a psychological break. And he's a special forces guy. So when he breaks, he goes out into the woods and kind of has a little war with the sheriff. And it's interesting. I'm saying all this because it turned into this crazy thing. But if you go back and watch the original, it's way different. And there's kind of a social agenda there. There's a message there, all this kind of stuff. And then it turned into like Rambo blow things up now.
That was later after the first movie.
Like, if you look at the original one, it
had something to it.
Well, it was a little controversial because some Vietnam vets were like, hey, you're playing to stereotypes. But then others were like, hey, this is someone who finally gave a voice to how I felt when I came back from the war. And so it is an interesting film kind of like in its time. What it is now, I can't speak to that.
We can't tell now that you're going to get 5.
A couple years ago, I went back and watched it.
Sure.
Because I'd never seen it before. And so I watched it and I was like, wow, this is so different than what I thought it was going to be. Like, way different. I imagine Rambo 5 is him on horseback blowing up a lot of things.
Pretty much. I mean, if it's a formula now at this point.
Yeah, you gotta, whatever.
He's a rustic outlaw cowboy of wherever he's at.
Yeah. So
I'm thinking Montana. Based on the picture, maybe.
What is there to blow up in Montana? Cows?
Hey, people. Okay, so
wait, do you think it's going to be
property?
Get off my lawn. Think that's it? Rambo 5, get off my lawn.
And they couldn't go with that title because it says something, but that's basically the premise. Get off my lawn. Get off my property. Maybe they steal something of his, like a horse. And he has to go back and get it because that was his friend because he shared his thoughts with the horse.
Okay.
Oh, no, the horse got killed. They had to kill the horse in order to really set him off. So that's it.
Nikki, no. They break the horse's leg and he has to kill the horse.
Oh boy, just write it down. This movie, it's writing itself.
No problem.
And so then
you know what? If we
he goes after them because they're bad bankers.
Okay, and because everybody hates bankers now.
Because they're trying to take his land.
Because they're trying to take his land.
That's it. So they break okay. So that's the movie. That's what we think it is. We don't know if it really is.
We're recording the show today, right? Because we'll just go back and get this and when
it comes out.
Okay. We got it.
Okay, that's what we think the new Rambo movie will be based off the one picture that we've seen.
And they say a picture's worth 1,000 words and we still have 200 words left.
We can keep going.
Remember, if you can just make it through the rest of the riot, then you can probably make it through the rest of the week. And through the next several months. And then it'll practically be Christmas. The Riot on RadioU.
I'll tell you what, you talk about Jeffrey and you talk about Rambo, and man, the text is just flying.
Anybody else want to text anything? You're more than welcome to.
Anybody wants to get in, feel free to text 877-2-RADIO-U. Now, I will tell you that this month, like the entire month of October, National Pizza Month.
It is?
Did you know that?
I guess I thought it was just a day, like it was National Pizza Day.
National Pizza Month.
Why does it get the whole month?
I don't, because, pizza's pretty important.
You can't just have a day.
I don't know if you've caught on to that, but it's pretty important. In fact, it has all the food groups in it.
It does. It's like a whole meal just wrapped up in cheesy goodness.
Yeah. But tomorrow, and I love this because it seems like we're always one day behind. I'm a day ahead today. Tomorrow's National Taco Day.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, you should go for some tacos at lunch.
So I actually have an enormous list here of places that are doing the free stuff for the tacos. But I'll just give you this. Taco Bell, which you can go to anywhere, is bringing a Taco Day gift set. That's a crunchy taco, a nacho cheese Doritos Locos taco, a Cool Ranch Doritos Locos taco, and a fiery Doritos Locos taco. How much would you pay on National Taco Day?
For that?
That's 3 of the Dorito tacos.
Is it free?
A crunchy taco.
99 cents?
No.
$1.
$5.
$5?
But it's a Taco Day gift set.
Ooh, what else do you get with it then?
I don't
That's it?
You just get...
Well, you should say it's wrapped up. It's in a special bag. You get a commemorative cup.
Well, in this photo, it features them in like a cute little box.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I've been to my local Taco Bell, and I just don't imagine them providing for me a nice little box.
Probably not. It'd be smushed in.
To be honest, that may have more to do with the terrible things I've said about them than it does anything else.
So now tomorrow I'm going to be out of town on vacation. And I'll be more in Del Taco land.
Well, you know what?
Is there a Del Taco details for tomorrow? Because I sometimes like Del Taco a little bit more than Taco Bell.
Do I have any Del Taco details? Yes, I do.
Okay, what are they doing?
Del Taco will have a buy one, get one free special on shredded beef soft tacos. And you have to have the coupon. So you have to print the coupon and take the coupon in with you.
I'm not printing the coupon.
Okay.
You can't even just show your phone?
Doesn't that feel like when they say to you that you have to print the coupon, don't you feel like that's their way of inviting you? Where they're like, yeah, we're having a sale. Oh, well, I mean, not a sale that you can get to.
Well, they know you're not going to print the coupon.
Print the coupon. I went to where's that place in the Arena District? It's the Buca de Beppo.
Yeah.
I went in there and I was like, yeah, here's the coupon on my phone. And the guy was like, no, I'm sorry, sir. You must print the coupon out. It was like, what is this? The Dark Ages? Print it out? Who prints something?
And if you say that with that same attitude, it'll get you far.
I'll tell you what, let me see if I can get my grandma on the phone so she can print some news articles for us, too.
I'm going to actually call her.
She can cut it out of the newspaper for us, and I'll bring it in.
It's okay. It's okay. I know. I can see that memory still hurts.
We did.
It's all right. Look at that.
Stumbled onto something, didn't we? We
stumbled onto
something.
It's frustrating when a place does that to you.
You know what? I feel like Nikki does when they bring Toys R Us back. I just get irrationally angry.
Warm and stuff. And you're like, why am I just getting so angry?
Is it hot in here?
So tomorrow is National Taco Day.
Plan to celebrate accordingly.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
If I were to tell you what is one of my favorite things in the whole world to do, is I like people to tell me what to do.
You sure do, don't you?
And you know what's the other thing I like is when they tell me what to do, and then there's like basically implied negative consequences if I don't do exactly what they tell me. That is
the best.
The best. Absolute fave.
Ever. Now, can you hear the tone? Do you think that's true? Because if not, you're like, I haven't been treating Obi right.
It's the worst. But here's the thing I was thinking about yesterday. As much as I don't like being told what to do, and I don't think any of us really do, like not really, I still can't deny the fact that I'm kind of glad that, my mom and dad made me take a shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, think
you
about
still
that.
had instructions or encouragement to a certain thing?
Because, I mean, like, I now take a shower every day, sometimes twice. And there are days when I'm like 2 showers and a bath. The reality of it is, I sweat a lot. You got to stay clean, whatever. But, I mean, you think about it. If your parents, they loved you enough to be like, look, I don't care if you want to take a shower. You're going to take a shower. You're filthy. And so there was an element of like, okay, that's really a bummer. But now I'm like, yeah, that was good. Also making me go to the bathroom inside instead of like outside somewhere. Like,
you had to learn some things.
That was good. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's face it. Like, given a choice, I'm glad right now I'm not wearing a diaper and not showering. Like, it's pretty good. And so I got to thinking about it. When I talk to people about a relationship with God, we're all just like, the last thing I need is another boss. My parents are a boss. My boss is a boss. My professor's a boss. I'm in a relationship. They're bossy. It's boss, boss, boss. But you're getting it wrong. You see, God, if you really get into what Jesus had to say, he's like, hey, you know what? God wants to be a dad to us. He was inviting us into his family. He wants to love us, take care of us, show us how to live. And so it's not a matter of God being like, I'm bored. I'm going to boss some people around today.
I'm going to tell you what to do.
No, God is just kind of like, let's take a shower, guys. All right, we're just going to take a shower, and because, there's some stinking going on right now. That's where God's at. He's not bored. He's not looking for people to boss around. He's just trying to teach you how to live. And in a lot of ways, if you want to know the truth, God's kind of trying to teach us to take care of ourselves. Like my mom doesn't come over and give me a shower every night. No. At some point, she started teaching me to do it, and now I'm a big boy. I do that myself. So look, God wants to teach you how to live. He wants to take care of you, and in some ways, teach you to take care of yourself. So invite Jesus in. It's not about a boss. It's about a loving parent that's trying to teach you something. Say, Jesus, I need that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to be part of your family. So come in, teach me how to live. I'm game. And man, just listen to what God has to say. I'm telling you, I've had a relationship with God for a while, and it's just not a bossy thing. God's just trying to help you out, trying to help me out. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to do the same thing for you because he said he would, so
The Riot is an award-winning morning show.
It's literally a medal for sucking. Now that is a medal for trying.
Okay.
RadioU.
I want to have a moment of honesty between all of us right now. I got my eyes on one thing. I got Friday off, and it's all I care about.
This is all you're thinking about?
That's all I'm building towards, guys. I am focused 100% on that.
You want to tell them what you've been doing? Getting everything else.
Everything. I've done everything.
Now listen to what he's saying, because we can learn a lot about this,
you think
okay?
So?
We can learn about this.
I have done like every single possible project or whatever I can think of at work that has to be done, like here at RadioU. I'm almost done with it. I mean, I still have to work today, obviously, but
tomorrow.
Yeah, but I've been like getting all that stuff done. Okay, trying to make sure everything's taken care of. At home, I have like cleaned. I paid all my bills. Like, I've done anything that I can think of that is remotely chore-like, and the only thing I have left is I need to mow my lawn. And I'll tell you this right now. Thursday at about 3 o'clock, between like Sunday at 8 a.m., I don't want to hear anything out of anybody.
Because you're gone.
I'm gone. I am off the books.
Uh-huh. So now you put in a little extra effort beforehand, and then you can hopefully guarantee a actual restful time when you're off.
Off the books, man. So I would like to know, Nikki's going off-road too. Like, she's going tomorrow, Friday, and Monday.
Yeah, I'll be back
Big spender. I get Friday, but you got to have all
You want to know
day.
the truth? I wanted to fly home Sunday, but the airline canceled the flight, so I'm coming back on Monday.
Well, fancy airline can't have Nikki. Sounds to me like a conspiracy to keep you close.
It was the weirdest thing, because I'm like, I can see the flight on your website, and I guess they were like, nuh-uh.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. And then
look again. And
then it was still there, but then later when you checked, it was gone. So I think it was just in the process of removing the flight. But it's like, guys, it's right there. But Monday it is. So I'll be back on Tuesday.
Okay. You're going to take some time off. Nikki's going to Southern California.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to my basement. So it's practically the same.
We are almost identical.
It's crazy, right?
I'm totally eating all the In-N-Out tomorrow that I can.
Oh, I hate you so much.
I know, right? You'll be fine. You'll be in your basement. You can have something.
Yeah, I build an In-N-Out franchise in my basement, guys.
Yes, it's practically the same.
See, it's a lie because they don't franchise. They're all corporate owned. All of them.
It's not a lie if it's in your head, so.
Though, okay, it's funny you say that. I have been thinking about Friday. I live in a small town outside of a major metropolitan area, and so we don't have a lot of options. But
they're not close by.
Right. I mean, yes, I could drive 15 minutes and have anything that I wanted. But if I wanted to drive 5 minutes...
You're limited?
I've been trying to think about what do I want on Friday for lunch, and I was thinking about hitting up KFC for some of those various flavored items.
So the new chicken flavor? I forget which one that's called.
I don't remember either, but hopefully they'll remember.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
That feeling when you hear that every school in the state is closed, but yours? Now you know how we feel. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So here's where we are, Nikki. Popeye's chicken.
Yes.
We had a Popeye's chicken, but we couldn't handle it. And so they closed it after 3 days.
Stayed open for 3 days.
That had to be like poor management or running out of money or something, right?
I don't know. It wasn't even open like the full 3 days. Like they couldn't even. They didn't make it
through the third day.
Through the business hours. Like it just was very, very weird. But Church's Chicken and Popeye's Chicken are now both doing something.
Yeah, are they the same owner?
I don't think so. I don't know, though. So I don't know enough about them.
They're going to be selling State Fair Oreos, which are quote-unquote deep-fried Oreos.
So you can buy State Fair Oreos. Like, that's the thing in the freezer section. But for fast food, it's a limited time thing through Church's Chicken that they're doing where you get a drizzle of sweet icing and you get a pack of 6 for $3.99. That seems like a lot of Oreos.
Well, that's the part that to me is kind of a bummer. This is basically what you said. It's just something out of the freezer. No, well, it's out of the freezer section.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the same. I don't have a deep fryer at home.
I know, which, you know what? After you've spent so much money on Oreos, you should invest in your own deep fryer, and then you make it at home.
Because I can't learn how to make this.
Here's the part that bums me out. If I want something that's deep fried, I want that sucker hand battered now.
Sure.
Like I want it freshly hand battered. That's the reason why a lot of restaurants, I used to love to go and order chicken fingers, but most of the time I go to a restaurant, I won't order chicken fingers because all they have done is taken chicken fingers out of a bag.
The frozen bag and put them in.
Maybe thrown them into a fryer. Sometimes they're like broiled or something. Like it's not, they haven't even bothered to fry it.
But I bet these taste pretty good.
I mean, probably.
So that's Church's Chicken. Popeyes, they're testing their deep fried double stuffed Oreo.
Well.
That's in the Boston area. So there's a funnel cake batter around double stuffed Oreos, and you can get in an order of 2, 3, or 4. And again, that is in Boston only through the end of October. And you can go in store, or they're doing an Uber Eats thing as well.
Well, that looks like they might be making their own, because it looks like Church's is doing the freezer stuff, but I feel like the Popeyes might be like a homemade thing.
Could be.
Because if it's dipped in funnel cake batter.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, can you imagine a chicken? Like, what if a chicken fell in that and it was dipped in a funnel cake batter too? What about that?
Anybody
think? Well, accidentally, like that's not their chicken batter. But what if you took some of the chicken, put it in the chicken batter and then the funnel cake, and it was a little bit.
And then would we put powdered sugar on the chicken?
Maybe.
I think that sounds disgusting.
Like the Monte Cristo sandwich with the powdered sugar.
Yeah, that's actually good. Though I will tell you, on Monte Cristo, I know that you're supposed to put like a
jam,
like a jam on it. But do you know what's really good on a Monte Cristo? Some honey mustard or some ketchup.
A little spicy.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Well, just throwing that out there.
Yeah. All right. So Popeyes and or Church's Chicken, neither of which I'll be going to on Friday.
Church's Chicken, though, seems to be nationwide. They're doing that. For Popeyes, it's just in Boston.
Oh, well, we got time. Let's just gas up the jet.
Hop on over.
Yeah. No, I'm going to end up going to KFC. Oh, yes, I am. It's hot honey. Hot honey is the KFC flavor that we haven't had yet. Oh, wow. That's
what you're doing, Fry?
That'll do.
That's a line. He's just not calling anyone in here a pig.
Oh, it's from Babe.
Yeah, just make sure everybody knows
And
that.
I have no idea why I
It's
say
in your
that.
head.
I've never even seen the movie.
It just stuck with you for hearing it sometime.
Just comes out.
Worst of the riot, not enough? Not enough. Check the blog and all things Riot at riot.radiou.com.
I have a really important question for you, and I feel like we've explored this space a little bit, but I can't quite remember. Let's say that someone is offering you something you need. And again, we're getting into sensitive territory here, but let's say for just a second that you have managed to break a toilet in your house.
Okay. I've not done that, but
Right,
sure.
but let's say you did.
Okay.
And just to be clear, that's not always because of,
Sure.
violence inflicted. Sometimes
It's just the toilet just as old.
yeah, or it could also be improperly installed. So like I actually have installed a toilet because the people that installed one for me, they cracked the porcelain.
So wait, are you talking about
And that's a thing.
So this isn't all like some big euphemism, but are you saying when you break a toilet, is that breaking the toilet seat or like you broke the toilet?
No, the toilet seat you just replace,
Yeah.
by itself, which I have now also done. I've done a lot of weird maintenance. But no, I'm saying...
Like you broke the bowl.
I'm talking the bowl. Yeah, there you go. You broke this, so you got to replace it.
Okay.
Now, then you have a friend that's like, oh, that's okay. We have one of our old toilets down.
No.
Can't.
We've not talked about this before.
We haven't? No.
And no.
You can't.
You get a new toilet.
That's it.
That's it. There's
You
no
just have to
questions
go buy
asked.
a
You're
new
not
one.
just doing the used toilet.
You can't pick
Nope.
up a used one?
Nothing can be cleaned enough. It's awkward. And then it's awkward between friends.
Like, hey.
And I know you can like use their toilet if you're at their place.
At their house.
But you didn't take it with you. You didn't
Certainly
take
not.
You didn't take it home.
No.
So I think that's awkward.
I mean, like in a hierarchy of places to go to the bathroom, friend's house is above
It's
like
much
gas
better.
station.
Oh, for
or
sure. But
something like that.
Well, I just think that changes the dynamic of your friendship. And
Because you now have their toilet?
yes, it's weird. And I
What-
have also seen toilets on the side of the road. So I know like if you're doing a remodel, like people put them out.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But you know this person. Like this is a friend.
Okay, so you're telling me
That's
that
too
if
close.
you and I could go to a store and I could buy you a used toilet,
If I didn't know what happened.
the person,
Yeah.
then you
if
could
I
use
just
it.
didn't understand or didn't have a connection
Yeah.
with the person, then
Okay.
then maybe.
But you're saying that like if you knew the person,
that's weird.
There's no way you could take their toilet.
There's no way. You'd always think that every time you just saw the toilet.
What, you'd see the toilet and be like, oh, they used that.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's not my toilet. You can never develop your own connection with it because it was someone else's. So.
See, my thing though is like I've thrown enough parties on the first floor, which is not a euphemism, that I mean that toilet's been used by so
Sure,
many
but again,
people.
that's fine. That's a party toilet. This is like your home toilet. This is your home base.
This is the one that's upstairs in the master bath.
It's your private
It's the
sanctuary.
one that no one is allowed to
Yes,
use.
that one. That should be new and just out of the box.
Okay.
So
All right.
for not much more, you could just buy a new toilet.
Okay.
I see my Costco.
You know what? The one that I have installed in my basement that I had to install, it's a Costco
You
toilet.
know how I'd bring a sheet to like cover it up because it totally looks like a toilet because of the box shape too. So
No, it doesn't.
It does too.
No, it does not.
It does too.
It does not. When
It
you
does
buy it,
too.
it's just a big white
no,
box.
it's not. It's shaped like a toilet. It's weird. The one that they have, and then people are like, "Oh, you're buying a toilet, aren't you?" It's too much for my sensitive self to be able to check out with.
So not only
I
could you
can't do
not
that. Oh
get
my gosh! And if you bought toilet paper,
you bought a toilet and a big thing of toilet paper. So the
just couldn't handle
so
it.
the embarrassment here is the fear that someone's going to discover that you used the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's too much.
Right now, you just run under the assumption that everyone looks at you and they know that you don't use the bathroom.
Well, I can't possibly. And I'm not taking a friend's toilet if they offer one.
Dave's got a good point. He says your friend will come over and reclaim their throne. Awkward.
It'll be something they always bring up.
Yeah. Just so they call you on the phone like, hey, how's my toilet doing? Mm-hmm. And you know what? If you're not nice
it
to me,
running?
I'll take my toilet back.
Yes, exactly. They can always throw it in your face
Yeah.
that you have their toilet.
All right. Well, that was one toilet story. I have another. So it's time for Toilet Talk with the Riot.
TT.
FN.
Oh, I wish it was Tuesday or a Thursday, but it's not.
The Riot.
They hate me, they hate you, they hate us.
Why else would they make us listen to the worst of the Riot? RadioU.
I don't think we're done.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I'm afraid.
I don't want to talk about it.
We have to, because Nikki has, I don't know who has told her this, but like, I just stumbled into a shocking amount of rules and regulations
for the bathroom
around
I'm
bathroom
not the only
use.
one. I'm not the only one.
I'm not saying that you are.
I'm just going to point that out there.
Okay, but I'm sorry, Nikki. I'm not trying to embarrass you. We have to bring some of this out. Nikki said, when you're a girl, you have a lot more, pressure and instructions around bathroom use. She said, for example, like, there are all these circumstances where you're supposed to, quote unquote, hold it.
Yeah.
Like
if
when
you're on a date, you're not supposed to.
You can't excuse yourself and go to the bathroom?
No. What if you're gone too long? What if something happens? Remember the lady who the toilet, something happened and she was trying to throw it out the window because she was at the date's parents' house or something like that? Like, there's problems that can come up and you don't want to have that. Okay. So this is the fear.
All right. Now, wouldn't you be better off? Okay.
Yeah. You're just supposed to not eat or drink before you go on a date.
To use your example, wouldn't you be better off being a little, long before you came in the bathroom than hanging on to it and finding yourself in trouble later?
No, but then the date's over. You're supposed to go before
this date must not be going very well.
No, you're supposed to go before you get in the car. Just like any car trip.
Okay, sure.
You're supposed to do that.
Before you get in the car, but then, you go to the movies where you got popcorn and soda, then you go for coffee, and then you
can hold
it feels like entrapment.
You can hold it, and you shouldn't have coffee because that's caffeine.
And it's a diuretic, so you're saying, like, that's out.
You're just supposed to just know. Read the room.
No.
Read the room.
It's fascinating to me because, one, I've never been on a date where a girl has gone to the bathroom and I've been like, start the clock. Like, whatever.
Well, she's in the bathroom going, oh my gosh, how long have I been gone?
Yeah, no, because even
this is more like first or second dates. This is not like if you've been in a serious relationship.
Seriously, it's fine.
Because then you can go to the bathroom and around people.
I would be fine with it. Like, it's fine. It's just
You're
like,
a nicer
whatever.
guy.
Well, no, I would just look at my phone for a while or, flirt with some of the other girls that are in the coffee shop. You know how it is. You know how it is.
You come back out, you're like, how long was I gone?
I'm sorry, I had to move on.
I moved on to somebody else.
I moved on. No, like, I would just assume that you, and maybe this goes to show what a terrible person I am, but keep in mind I was raised in a beauty shop.
Sure.
So I would just assume that you were in there working on your makeup or something.
Oh, God, you take it longer that way.
Believe me, I've been around all these cosmetologists. They take their time.
Sure.
And that's just the way it is.
Just telling you that there's just you just go before you go.
Okay.
So that's all you have to do.
And we haven't even stumbled into I feel like if we took a look at bathroom rules. You don't want to. If we took a look at bathroom rules, I would have a pamphlet and Nikki would have a family Bible sized thing like, these are the rules and regulations that revolve around the bathroom. And I'm just like, what? Flush.
No, it's not as easy as that in public. What's wrong with you? How could you just go to the bathroom in the public?
How do you go? How dare you use a public restroom?
How dare you? Just hold it. You're supposed to hold it. How could you be comfortable? I just couldn't be comfortable. I just can't do it.
Oh my gosh.
It's upsetting to even talk about it. It's upsetting. You're just like, nothing's wrong. Of course something's wrong.
Something's terribly, terribly wrong.
I can't talk about it anymore. I don't want to.
So you're telling me it's one of those things like you're out on a date and you have to wrap the date up quickly because you're like, no, I really liked him, but I had to go.
Yeah, you just have to, well.
My dad's a jerk. He said I had to be home by 8:30.
It's just there's lots of rules and stuff. And maybe that's self-inflicted rules. I don't know. But there's pressure in society today.
Well, I mean, I don't know what it's like to be a girl. So I don't really know.
Dating's hard. Dating is hard.
I'm actually trying to make it easy on you. I'm just telling you that if you have to go to the bathroom, the guy's just going to sit there and be like, whatever, I don't care.
That's you. You're just kinder.
What, you think there are men everywhere that, like, we have this secret cabal where we're like, did you guys have a good time? Yeah. How long was she in the bathroom?
No, but it could be brought up. It could be.
It's not going to be brought up. Like, what are you talking about?
Anyways.
And we're done. Okay.
Moving on.
Okay. Well, hey.
Ow, my stomach.
I do. You need to go to the bathroom.
No, don't go at work either. Stop it.
It's okay.
I just want to go home.
Did you know the Riot can help you see into the future? Every time Obadiah says he likes a show, impress all your friends by correctly predicting it will be canceled by the end of the year.
Canceled. What are you talking about? It's not funny.
Works every time. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Well, half an hour ago, I started talking to Nikki. It is the Riot about toilets. And
you have another story?
There's a reason that this all came together. There is, and I just want to be clear, I don't know what the political whatever is here, but I do know this, that in Illinois, they're getting ready to have a governor's race, right?
Yeah.
One of the guys that is up for Illinois governor is currently under investigation for tax fraud because of something that he did. He removed, like before a tax assessor came into one of his houses, they removed all the toilets.
Is he flushing money or like keeping money in there, or are they gold?
If I understand it correctly, by removing the toilets, those can't be seen as workable bathrooms, and therefore...
Oh, then if they paid money to...
the tax assessment.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So if there's no toilet in there where the tax assessor comes, it's not a full bathroom.
So then it gets assessed for less or something?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, and according to this document, that saved him about $330,000 on taxes.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, over years though, right?
Yeah, not just in 1 year, but over years.
Like, what is his taxes?
So he removes the toilets. This is what got me thinking for you, Nikki, the idea of like, hey, if a billionaire took a toilet out of his house, would you be willing to take one of his used toilets and put it in your house?
Well, wouldn't he just take it out during the assessor's tour, or...
I don't know.
So, like, then you put it back in?
I don't know. Maybe he takes it down to Lumber Liquidators and tries to get some credit.
Get some new ones. He returns it.
I don't know.
That's weird. I've never thought about that. I know some people try to get assessed for less. I do know that. But
yeah, that's just
common.
about everybody does that.
Yeah, that's not technically, it's not illegal. You're just assessing it for...
Well, what he did
that's
is
illegal. That is obviously.
When somebody's like, where's the permit paper? And you're like, that is nice shoes that you have.
Yes, there's some money in the shoes. Just
whatever.
look down there.
Oh, my gosh. No, that's illegal too, Nikki.
What?
Oh, good Lord.
I didn't say I was doing that. I'm just saying he's probably doing that.
But like he's saying... I guess to me, I look at this story and I'm like, would I take a billionaire's used toilet? That's my angle. Everybody else is saying that this is politically motivated, that this like investigation's been ongoing, but it was an investigation that should have never leaked to the press.
Leaked?
And
to me, when I heard this story, I'm like, how do you remove a toilet? That's fascinating.
You just turn the... You really don't know how?
Well, do you like lift it up off the ground, or what do you do?
Well, Nikki, I can tell you because I've done it.
Yeah, you've taken it out.
You turn the water off, and then you flush it. And so basically,
so the tank water and everything goes out?
Yeah, you get as much of the tank and stuff out as you can. And then you can remove the tank, but you don't have to. And then you'll notice that a toilet is bolted to the floor.
Yeah.
And then you just remove those bolts and you just pick it up. And I will tell you, if you've never done it, there's a surreal moment when you're like, it's in your mind.
Holding the bowl.
You're like, I'm holding a toilet right now.
The thing that you have to clean.
But I totally did that thing where you just put a toilet out on the side of the road.
Did you? Did someone take it, or did it go out in the trash?
I'm pretty sure it went in the trash. If anybody took it, they'd be really disappointed when they found out that when it was installed, they cracked it, and as a result, problems.
Well, this is something new for those wanting a lower tax thing. And
well, I just
I've never thought to do that.
I guess I just come back to the question, like, you wouldn't take a toilet from a friend, but if it was a billionaire, would you take it on the hopes that maybe it had, like, gold fittings or something in it?
Yeah,
Like,
and then we could totally, like, pan for gold in the toilet and get money.
he's a billionaire. See if he accidentally left some money in there or something.
Like, that's what I thought at first when you said, like, is he hiding cash in the tank or something?
No, it's just a tax thing.
I know. You hate the Riot. Why are they on the radio?
Stupid. Yeah.
Honestly, we can't trust them with anything else. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Another layer to the onion is being peeled back here.
I don't want to talk about this.
You really don't want
No,
to?
I mean,
think you should.
Why?
Here's why. Because here's what I'm realizing. This is what I love is that all of us have our own private rule book that we play.
Sure.
Things that we do, things that we don't do, things that we think are appropriate, things that we think are not appropriate.
No, you're not getting to talk, Eric. You don't get to talk. No, I'm afraid what he's going to say.
Okay.
No, you don't get to talk.
Hey man, I don't have the buttons
talk.
over here. So I have these two. You do this with people. They a lot of times, if you ever read a book on a relationship, they'll talk about your unspoken expectations. And a lot of times, you don't know what your unspoken expectations are until someone does something that breaks an expectation. So you've got your own silent rule book. That somebody does something, they break the rule book. And if you get in a dating relationship, that's when you have to start saying things like, okay, that's not okay.
Sure.
You have to be willing to speak up, because if you don't, you're going to be offended a lot, and the other person won't even know. They'll have no idea.
No clue.
So one of the things that we've just learned, Nikki, I'm learning today that you have a thick rule book about public conduct, which is making it more and more obvious that, like, I don't even know how we're still friends at all.
Well,
because in public, I have almost no rules whatsoever. It is Thunderdome out there.
It's hard, and you're very loud, and you're very, just anything goes. But for me, I'm actually more shy and private, and I don't like any attention when in that arena.
Sure.
I just don't like it.
Okay. So I find out that you and Eric are out the other day. You get up to leave the table at lunch. We don't know where you're going.
No one has to say.
I know where you're going. You're standing up.
I told Eric, I said, now you're going to know what it feels like, because he always goes to the bathroom when we go out to eat, and he'll leave me at the table, which I don't like to be left at the table and he'll leave me for like a really long time. And so I said, oh, now you're going to know what it's like.
Now, I would like to ask Eric a question, if I may.
Okay, fine. Okay. You can ask him a question.
Now, Eric, when she got up and left you at the table, how terrifying was it to sit there alone?
And it wasn't. In fact, it was more joyful. Not because she left, but because she left me with that insight into her. And I was able to have my time and quiet to just reflect on how silly that was.
No, see, for me,
she gets up and says, now you're going to know how it feels.
I don't.
With a little bit of humor, knowing is, but also she really thought I was going to know how it feels. I don't feel a thing.
I believe that. I wouldn't want to. I sit there all the time, and you leave me there.
Okay. Now here's what I want to know, Nikki. I want you to know that neither Eric nor I, having had that experience, actually know how it feels.
Sure.
So could you describe to us right now? Use your words.
Yeah.
How
are we talking about this?
How does it feel to be left alone at the table?
Well, then it just looks like I've been left, like I've been deserted. And
so
like
you feel abandoned.
Something wasn't going right, or
you feel like everyone in the restaurant is looking
I was eating
at you
alone,
thinking that your date is going wrong, or that you, heaven forbid, walked in there alone and ate without companionship.
Like the one time you left me for a really long time, you left food on your plate, and the waiter came by and he was like, oh, do you want to finish his food? Where'd he go? Did he leave you? It's just like, what do you mean? He's just in the bathroom. It was just a bit much.
Yeah. We got to work on this, Nikki.
No, I don't. And don't you dare. You're not. You're not. You can't.
Maybe next time when we all go out as a group.
No.
We'll all go.
Fine. Nope. I'm not going to eat lunch
And we'll
anymore
all just
with
go
you.
look at our phones in the bathroom for 10 minutes.
No, that's what you're going to do now. I don't want to be alone.
We're gonna fix this. Do you know what the first step is?
What is that?
The first step is we got to get you at the movies alone.
That is something was trying to work up to.
Because here's the thing: is like if you go to the movies alone, you're going to learn to sit alone in the dark. Okay, and then eventually you're going to be ready to sit alone in the light.
In the light?
Yeah.
That's deep. That's very deep.
I mean, Nikki, we're going to work through this.
Okay, give it some time.
Tiger Drive.
I just don't like to be left alone forever.
You know what, Nikki? You know what you need to do?
And it felt like forever.
If somebody looks over at you, you know what? You just look back at them like, what are you looking at? Or wave.
Wave.
Or put on a little show like, hey. I've done that to people before. They've been looking at me for a long time, and I'm like, how's it going?
Why are you looking like
I just like wave your arms.
The blow-up guy.
I'm giving him a show. Look at me. I'm wavy arm guy. Now you got something to look at.
That's what I can't do right there.
I'm going to teach you. You're going to become my disciple, and I will teach you.
All right, everybody.
Or, you know what? All you're doing, Nikki, is you're learning to hold up a mirror like, this is what it feels like. How does it feel?
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Well, you know what? I just drenched cauliflower in cheese, and you just call it Colin cheese.
No,